Today's weather has absolutely sucked. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, it's getting dark really quick, and it's still raining. This is probably the lightest it's rained all day. And tomorrow, I really want to use the Skyline to get up to Scuba 2000 and watch the FIA International Practice Drift Day for D1GP. So, I am all geared up, trying to stay as warm as I can because there's also like 4 degrees Celsius. It's extremely cold, and I just want to get in, get this car back together and running. Hopefully everything's all good. Then I can wake up super early and go hang out with Oka-chan and go check out this awesome event tomorrow. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So today I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to go for the GoPro head mount. Let me know in the comment section if you guys like this, and I thought it'd be really cool to kind of show you guys all the hands-on work that I do with time-lapsing and stuff from a head point of view. Just because that way I think you guys will see a lot more if you're doing the job yourself, and especially with things like doing timing and things like that. I think it's good to be able to watch this type of stuff on YouTube and actually like go through it step by step. So anyways, all of that aside, the first thing that we need to accomplish today, well actually, can I just lean back and show you guys this awesome little tarp setup? I combined 2 tarps together that I normally throw on the back seat for my tires, and I kind of just strung it up with the weird clothesline pole and a brick, and anyways, it works, and that's all that matters, and it's stopping the water from making me get wet and even colder. My hands are already frozen, by the way, so this is going to be a fun job. So the first thing we need to do is retime the engine. The cam for the intake side is 1 tooth out, so essentially we need to take the belt off, reposition that and put the belt on, making sure everything's in the correct position. Now the thing is because I'm not using a brand new timing belt, this was brand new about a year ago when I did it, when I made the mistake of incorrectly timing the engine, is there's no ink left on this belt. It wears off from the tensioner. So I've had to mark with a permanent marker which direction the belt goes, because these are a directional belt. You don't want to get them mixed up. They will like just self-destruct and rip apart if you put them on the wrong direction. So anyways, we're going to do that. I'm going to put some markers on the belt as well and line everything up, and then essentially take the belt off, put it back on. The first thing we need to do is loosen off this tensioner. So we're going to go do that now. I'm going to throw you guys on the time lapse, and hopefully everything looks good. So as you guys would have seen, we have gotten the timing all sorted out. We've got the case back on there, and we're pretty much ready to put this really sexy new harmonic balancer on. Now, I never thought I would ever say this about a harmonic balancer, but this thing is mighty fine. It's even got all the original markings, and one thing I found interesting is I guess this was casted so well that it only needed 1 balancing like kind of point drilled out. My old one had like 3 of these to try and balance it out. So looks sexy. We're going to put this on, drive it home, and start assembling everything else. Pro tip, always torque your harmonic balancer bolt to spec. 150 Newton meters of torque for this bad boy. A little bit more doesn't hurt, but obviously you want to put a little bit of, not the super strong Loctite, just 222 is fine for that, to stop it so it never backs out. So we've gone and done that now. Now we can put everything else back together, back to the time lapse. Gosh, this thing cracks me up. Anyways, it did its job. We're back on the G7X, so hopefully the head mount turned out really good for those time lapses. We are back at the point of essentially starting this thing up. We got to we got to bleed the coolant and everything. One thing though is I've disconnected the CAS because I want to like let this thing crank over a few times and just make sure there's no weird sounds of like, you know, valves hitting pistons or anything like that. So we got fuel pressure. We're looking pretty good. Let's crank. Sounding perfect. So now we'll put the CAS back in. And then we can start this puppy up. This is a bit hard doing with my left hand, lining the plug up, but we got it. Now, it's not ideal. When you do your timing belt and stuff like that, turn it over by hand. I've already done that, but I just like to make sure by cranking it because sometimes you can save it if it's just the starter motor. Here we go. What was that noise? Is that just some weird noise or? Nope. We're good. Alright, I panicked for a bit. I thought there was a weird noise. Oh, it's just coolant getting flapped everywhere. Alright. We need to get some more coolant into this puppy. You guys like my soda bottle funnel? I think everyone does the same trick, right? Sounds healthy, man. Sounds good. Should get that timing light out as well. Let this thing get up to temperature and then we'll check it. So just finished bleeding the coolant. Timing checked out perfect, so we are all good there. Next thing on my agenda is to pack everything up and then we'll go out for a test drive. So we'll get that done and then next clip we'll be out on the road. So we're out on the street now, going for a bit of a test drive, making sure everything's all good. So far, so good. Before, I think I got my keys caught around here and I think I accidentally pulled the power cable out for the digital dash, so we'll fix that later once I get home. But for now, I can say that this thing is a lot more responsive. It's definitely made a big difference fixing that intake cam side being out by that. What is that thing? That looks sick. That's cool. It's just an 8.6, but it had pink underglow. I'm happy with that. Anyways, as I was saying, that intake cam being out by one tooth, it's made a huge difference on how responsive this is in the bottom end. So I'm actually like really pumped about that change. Otherwise though, everything seems to be perfect now and I'm not having any problems. I'm just gonna drive it around for a little bit, do a few pulls and that kind of thing. So once we get on the open road, we'll do that. So we are about to just jump on the highway. I've got my logging software set up. Wheel spin, baby. That was insane, that backfire. Just being real with you guys right now, that like backfire just then, I literally thought I blew up my engine and I did something wrong with the timing or something. But it's actually fine. The ECU, the map limiter came on, the boost limit came on, and that's literally just because we hit the max boost that I've got set in the ECU. Reason for that is we're still having issues where when the air is super, super cold, my IATs are chilly right now at like 12 degrees. The air's denser, making more boost than normal, and I haven't got the table set up right for the closed boost control, so that when it's super cold it takes out a certain percentage of the duty cycle. Anyways, stuff you don't really need to know about yet, and it's actually stuff that my friend's going to help me out in Australia with, so that we can sort everything out there and get the tune dialed and the boost control working properly in the Link ECU as it should. But for now, the car feels amazing. It's got so much more response in it. It's actually kind of driving me insane because the two main things that we had with this car, why it was so laggy, was one, VCT wasn't enabled. We got VCT on, that made it way more responsive as well. Two, found out I did a little bit of an oopsie and my intake cam was one tooth out. Didn't make like, it's not gonna be a huge issue, like in the sense of like it's not gonna cause any damage or anything like that. It's kind of just like having adjustable cams. But obviously because I have VCT, yeah, anyways. So yeah, fixed all the issues and now the car, I guess, is driving the way it should have been from the get-go. So yeah, there you go. You live some, You learn from living. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say sometimes you make mistakes and you learn from them. That's what I wanted to say. All right, let's do some more pulls, make sure this thing's all good. So cruising home, look who I run into. Elbow the Drift Hunter man. That's sick. All right, we gotta see what we're gonna do. Maybe we can go get coffee or something. So we pulled into the local Don Quixote, which is apparently open 24 hours, which I just found out today. And we got a coffee from the vending machine. Nice rainbow blend. Whoa, this guy speaks English? What the flip? This random guy just rocked up with a Hachiroku, so we're gonna go talk to him. We got our own little car meet happening now. Loving this. So this is probably one of the cleanest Levins I've ever seen, and it's got some really cool like factory options on here that you don't see, and I'd say are pretty rare. And the owner, his name's Moto-san. He lived in the States for 7 years and speaks like perfect English. Surprised, well, pretty perfect. He surprised both me and Elbow, and we were both like, wait, what? It just, anyways, but this thing is super clean. How many Ks did you say this thing has on it? Kilometers.
Oh, 300,000.
300,000 Ks, and the paint looks this good. Plus, sunroof model, no rust. It's got all the cool little like carbon fiber bits here and stuff. Well, that's got to be wrapped for sure, but like all the usual places on Hachirokus that get rust in the rear wells here, none of that's there. This is so nice, dude. This is probably the cleanest Levin I've ever seen, like hands down. And it's a two-door. Very nice. Anything done to the motor? Just stock?
Yeah, it's also
exhaust.
and shocks.
Yeah. This piece is so immaculate. The fog piece center, the fog light centerpiece. It's amazing. So clean. Man, I did not expect to run into, this is practically Initial D right here, except no pop-ups, and that is not an RX-7, but still same, right?
Initially, Casey and Salvo. RX-7 is me.
Oh man, it's cracking me up. Anyways, I probably need to head, so we could talk cars for years, man, and not even know time's gone by. But dude, I did not expect to run into you of all things, and then run into Moto-san, who we just met for the first time. We're gonna definitely hang out a little bit more with this guy. We're gonna exchange line details for sure. So I'm nearly home, but I wanted to do one last pull. Woo! This thing is gnarly, man. It's so much more responsive. I'm gonna go look at the logs that we took today from tonight and see when this thing is spooling now, because it definitely feels like it spools way faster than it did before. So we'll check that out once we get home. But man, I'm so pumped. We get to drive this thing tomorrow. Oh, so happy. I don't think I could be more happier with how things ended up going today. We managed to get the car fixed, and in all that bad weather as well. I don't think I've gotten sick. I feel good. I think I was able to stay warm enough with all the gear I was wearing, plus that weird tarp thing that I set up. I wish I took a photo of that. That was funny. At least I got it on video to look at and laugh about. But in the end, everything went really well. The car is doing great. There's no leaks, nothing like that. Timing's fixed and perfect now too, so we'll be able to tune the car and get some pulls and data and stuff and all of that sorted out. So I'm excited. Tomorrow's gonna be an epic day. We're going to Scuba Circuit again. We're gonna be watching the guys for their practice day for the FIA D1 GP, which is super cool. I love that more than any other drift event in Japan. The FIA stuff is super interesting because all these guys from all around the world fly their cars over, and it's just super cool to see all the different like builds and variety and stuff. Because in Japan, there's definitely a bit of a build style, kind of like how everyone kind of builds their drift cars and comp and stuff like that. So it's good to try and like see everything from everyone else in the world and how they did their things and stuff. Also, we get to hang out with Oka-chan as well and go to Yoshio factory and stuff and get some more hoodies to ship out, because you guys are just killing it with those, which is kind of driving me insane because I'm spending like 3 hours every day posting 50 hoodies. But I'm not really complaining because it's helping out Oka-chan a lot. So thanks so much for your support there, guys. I really appreciate it. Anyways, all that aside, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I kind of wish I did the cams because now everything's perfect and it probably would have been an issue, but I wouldn't have had time to do the cams today anyway, so it worked out in the end. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe again. Peace out. Jumma.